and the water would have been there. And we didn't used to look at things like that because water was cheap. The city was buying it from Chicago for 90 cents a thousand. And now they're paying, I don't know what you're paying, 1,000, but it's not 90 cents.
Yes, it's less.
You gotta pay too. You live in Burnham, you gotta pay too.
No, 380.
My only question is, okay, I don't pay for a new electric meter, I don't pay for a gas meter, why should I be responsible to pay for a water meter?
I guarantee you're paying for it. They don't.
You do,
hit
you're
on
renting.
it with the
You're paying your
$130
rent,
you're paying
rental
for
on
it.
them.
They appeal to the
Then why can't the
Illinois
bills at
Commerce
Burnham
Commission
be
and they
doing the
raise
same
it.
thing? Say they put an extra $10 a month for you to be paying your water meter.
Ms. Kalinsky, I'm sure the costs for your meters from the other utilities are factored in.
Thank you.
I'm sure they are factored in.
Yes,
But to
sir.
answer
There's
your
not one
question,
great
wait,
big
sir.
bulk.
I'm sorry.
Service charge.
To answer your question, Ms. Olson, you asked, is there a minimum billing for the water usage? Yes, it's going to be a minimum of 3,000 gallons.
So our water is gonna be $33 a month,
Minimum.
minimum.
That's bullshit.
What's the?
It's 100 gallons a day.
You got using that much water, like I said.
Luce, it's gonna be an actual bill?
Yeah, okay, it's going to be an actual with a minimum of 3,000. So if you don't meet 3,000, it says in the ordinance, it says minimum 3,000.
Yes, it does.
It does say that.
It's not red.
Read your ordinance.
No, if it's not red, if it's not red, well, then you can be counted minimum.
Oh.
Up to 3,000.
That's
Once
an
you get the
estimated
actual
fee.
reading, the next time it'll be readjusted back.
So how do we
Okay,
get
so,
someone to read it?
wait. So at the beginning of the year, we're gonna be paying $33 a month.
No, not at the
Water?
beginning of the year, no.
When is this going to take place, Mayor?
I'm sorry?
When is this going to go into effect?
Well, we're gonna have to see, because after we submit the information for the EPA law, which we do not have, regardless of what you read.
Boy,
regardless
EPA
of
is
what
a
it
liar
says,
then.
we do not have the money for that, and it has not been submitted.
Okay.
So it's not gonna start January 1st?
No, we'll not start that.
Thank you.
The other,
Mike,
the
thank you,
other,
Mike. Go ahead.
the other thing is though,
Mike, you're out of here.
when I just got a new electric meter, I think this last summer. Was it this summer?
Yeah, we all
The
do.
Citizens Utility Board puts a limit on how much ComEd or NIPSCO or wherever we're at can charge us. Isn't there a limit to the amount of the increase?
But when we have the other meeting, and we will show that there are various towns that the rates are comparable to ours, or some of them are even more.
Doesn't make any difference what the other guy's
Okay,
doing. Sorry.
Unfortunately, Ms.
Mr. Lewis.
Olson, no, we are not governed for rates per the IEPA or the IDNR. We are not governed by them for our rates.
Okay.
Indiana is, but Illinois is not.
And Wisconsin is, Illinois is not.
But I know we are like that's what I said, we have a Citizens Utility Board for our electric company, ComEd, when they want to raise the rates. I mean, everybody wants to raise the rates, and I can see a 5 or 10 or even maybe a 15% increase, but this is just ridiculous.
Mr. Andre Lewis is our water work engineer for the time being, so if you can just kind of give us a debriefing on what's going on and that the water and whatnot, and let the residents know we're taking care of them.
Okay, just to kind of give you an update on the water.
Who are
Good
you?
evening, my name is Andre. I'm introducing myself now. I'm Andre Lewis. I'm actually the engineer that certifies your water for drinking to make sure it's healthy and flowing smoothly into your homes. Good evening, board, trustees, mayor, and everyone. Trust me, I do understand your concerns, but I just want to kind of talk about the quality of the water. We've done all the tests up to date on all coliform and lead and copper testing. All of your lead tests and everything is up to date. Everyone should be getting their letters in the mail for the next year's CCR, which is the consumer report, letting you know that the water is safe to drink. So I just want to say Burnham is very safe to drink water. This town is very safe, so we don't have any lead issues or anything. We even tested water fountains at all of the community centers as well, authorized by the mayor for us to do that, to make sure that any community center, public building for the city was safe as well, to make sure, because there was questions about any of those as well. So we did cover every area of the town, and if you do have any concerns about your water, you can definitely reach out to the village and leave a message, and they will definitely let me know, and then we'll definitely test your water if there's anything that you have an issue
Excuse me,
with.
I called and you didn't have no answer for me. I called last year. You didn't have no answer. I get back with you. I gave you my number and everything. You never got back with me.
Okay, ma'am, if you want to call and leave us a
I
message.
already have called.
Okay, if you want to give me your information, we'll definitely address that.
So you want me to call again for
No,
the
that's
last
not
year,
an
year
issue.
before?
No,
First
ma'am,
of all, he wasn't here last year.
I was only here.
I wasn't, well.
I've only been here for 6 months.
No, he wasn't here last year.
But I will address your question though with no problem.
Okay.
We apologize that I
talked
wasn't
to
here.
somebody over there, somewhere.
No, that's fine. We'll definitely
Okay,
address
does
that.
anyone have any questions for Mr. Lewis so we can move on to the?
So what town do you live in?
What town do I live in? That's not of any relevance right now.
Oh,
ma'am.
okay.
Pretty
But
much
it's not Burnham.
So it's not Burnham.
No,
Not Burnham,
no,
okay.
I'm a contractor working for the Superior Water now.
Okay.
And I'm a licensed EPA professional, and I would definitely love to help you guys with any questions that you may have, but anything regarding to my personal matters, that's not, of any interest right
I
now.
don't want to know your person. I just want to know about my water.
Okay. we can definitely address that. Yes, ma'am.
So the report is done and it should be mailed out and we should be getting it in the first part of January?
You usually get your CCR reports right around 8. So they usually come out right before July the 1st. So every year we send out a CCR report. You've received them in the mail. You've gotten yours. Everyone receives them in the mail every year. We do this report. And I'm working on right now your LMO2 report for your water loss report to make sure you guys are within guidelines for that as well, which we are working on that. And everything is rolling very smoothly in Burnham, just to let you guys know, because I know there are concerns. I do sit on a couple of other boards, and I do go to different meetings, like for the Chicagoland area in regards to, lowering our, intake for, our carbon footprint and going green and different things, and consumption reports, making sure that everyone is using less water to consume to save the environment. So I am, an activist for the environment as well. So I definitely agree with anyone here that has a concern about lead. We can definitely talk about that, and we can talk about any other issues with your water as well.
Okay, I have one question.
Pressure too?
Can I say something for that report for this year? On the other side of Burnham, in Old Burnham, I passed out all that report to every single household. So everyone on that side should have received the report, because I either taped it on the door or put it somewhere where it was visible as soon as you were walking in. And it took me like 3 or 4 hours to do that in one day.
When will the water loss report be available?
The water loss report is usually published right after March as well. So we usually publish those, but you can have access to last year's, should be available as well. That report was done last year. So it's always a year in arrears. Yes, sir.
report will be made in April.
It's usually start, you have between April and July 1st.
Okay, I don't know, what does CCR, what?
It's the consumer report. So basically, it's the consumer confidence report. So what it does is it makes sure that you are notified of any concerns dealing with any levels in your water. So it gets into all of the items that may go into your water, especially lead. So we just kind of want to update you exactly where we are in regards to water, but just to kind of inform you guys so that you can kind of see how it works. We purchase water from other cities. So what that means is that you're in a really great spot, meaning that if there's something wrong with our water, there's something wrong with the water before we purchased it. So that would mean that Chicago is having problems, Hammond is having problems. But we do take, our water serious, so we still test our water every month. We test our water here in the city every month for coliforms and different other bacteria and E. coli and different things to make sure that it's up to par. So by standards, we're testing monthly, but also you have to remember that Hammond in Chicago is testing daily and monthly because they're a large operation. And right now, Chicago is probably one of the best water operations in the country. They run one of the best water plants in the country.
Are you also controlling the water pressure?
Well, the water pressure, those are the issues, and we can definitely dig into that. I know I heard you speak in regards to the water pressure, but when we deal with water pressure, there's so many other variables to take into account. And that could start from your line, that could start from inside the house, and those would be things that we could definitely come out on site. and
It's
just
the
look
whole section by us. We haven't had any water pressure in months.
And I'm
It takes a
pretty-
half hour to fill up a small little sink.
at. So what we could do is we could meet and I can get your information and make sure with the mayor's guidance that it's okay for me to work with, within those constraints. To make sure that we deal with that area, but once again, you have to remember, just like Mr. Giglio just said before he stepped down, these systems are antiquated and out of date. So when you start looking at out of date systems, you have to imagine that something that's been dealing with pressure for 1,000 months, 100 years, and all of these different things, you have to understand that that system is going to have to be rehabilitated. And that's what the mayor is trying to do in regards to this entire system. He's trying to bring this up to the 21st century standards to make sure that it's good for generations to come.
And it's gonna cost a little money, but we need you to work with us, but I know people don't agree with it, but I don't agree with it. That I have to pay it as well. I agree with you, but we need you to work with us for at least a year, and we will go back and we will revisit it. We need your support,
It just seems to me like it'd be better to fix the water lines rather than the meters.
Right now.
That's what he was saying, Mr. Giglio was saying, that the water lines are.
But it's still gonna cost money to do that.
Well, do that first.
When will the leak survey be done?
Well,
The leak
this-
survey, what they do is they go and detect what the water loss is through the underground pipes. When will the leak
And
survey be
actually,
done?
we've done a leak survey and all the leaks were addressed, and we've done a soundproof survey just recently this year. And I do understand the concern of the
When was
leak
that
survey.
done?
We had a sound survey done just here when we had a main break, I think, that was September, October,
For the whole town?
for the whole town. We had a leak
No,
survey.
actually it was for the east side, but that's where it was.
So just to kind of get into, but let me just kind of get
And
into.
what was the water loss from that leak survey?
Well, see, this is the thing, when you think water loss doesn't just take place from one variable, which is a leak survey. That's just one mechanism to basically pinpoint the area, but the water loss is dealing with, the purchase of water, the
I
output
understand, sir. My
of
question
water.
is, from that leak survey,
We're not gonna do a water
what
loss
was
on
the
that.
result for the water loss?
That water loss on that one, it proved itself, it came up, it was a water main break.
I want.
You said you did it for the whole town, right?
No,
I wanna-
that's.
I wanna.
So you didn't do the leak survey for the whole town?
I wanna-
We had just prior to that year before.
I want to say one thing.
No, it was not necessary to do it for the whole town at that time, because we was losing water, and we was watching the main meter over there, and Brandon, according to him, it was losing a lot of water. I forgot how much it was it 100
Right, we
gallons?
were looking at 125 gallons a day.
Right, so then,
That's a lot of water.
he had to continue to look to see if we could find that. But since it was coming from under the ground, it took a couple of days for it to
For
actually
the
get off to
surface.
the top, so.
And just rest
we found
assured
it.
that the water loss, I understand that it's not easy, that's why they only ask for the water loss report to be done once a year. So you have to take into account for a yearly, your 12-month period of time. And when you do leak surveys, most villages, I've known villages that pump water to 6 or 7 other villages 3 times the size of Burnham that won't do a leak survey for 3 and 4 years. It's all based on your capital improvement. So, everything is a case-by-case basis. There's no written in stone that you have to have a leak survey done every 6 months, every 12 months. That's all hocus pocus. Everything has to be done based on when you need to.
But precedent, we have, per precedent, we have done leak surveys every year
And
annually.
you see who signed
Is that
the
correct,
book
sir?
and when.
So my question to you was, when was the last leak survey for the
Last
entire?
leak survey
Let me
for
finish,
the
sir.
entire city. Go ahead.
Yes, when was the last leak survey, excuse me, when was the last survey for the entire town? And
November
you said
2016.
November 2016. And I just asked, what was the report on that as far as what was the water loss from that survey?
Absolutely. So this kind of gives you an idea so that you can understand. There's no reason to spend resources when you don't have to. This economy is hurting as it is. I mean, you can't just spend.
With all due respect, sir,
And
the
let me
board
just address your first question, please.
Okay.
Just for 1 second, I apologize. If you got it, okay. When you're dealing with a survey, it's easy to say, okay, let's just do something because it's business as usual, and it costs us $6,000 to $7,000, and the citizens have to pay for it. I'm in the business of making sure that the citizens in the city doesn't spend money that they don't have to. Meaning that if I'm looking at those pressure gauges on a daily basis and the pressure is consistent, and I know that my readings of water being pumped has been pumped for the last 15 years is consistent, why am I doing a survey for a leak? Does that look like a leak to you, especially when we know that we haven't got an increase of 3,000 citizens to move into the city and get new water service? We know that we don't have new service, so why would we be doing a survey? We're doing a survey just to do it. We don't want to. We want to get out of the way of just doing things to be doing it. We do want to be proactive, and by being proactive, we've done things like put plans together to address the faults. I mean the fire hydrants, to do water lines testing, to go out and see if there are leaks at citizen homes and different things, and look at commercial businesses to make sure that their toilets are not leaking and different things. Those are ways that you can do that's proactive without spending the $6,000, but still using like the fire department, different things like that to get out and address issues. So that's what we were doing this year. That's why we didn't do it.
One more question, then we're
Mr. Lewis,
gonna go off this down.
and I'm glad that you feel that way, and we appreciate that service for trying to save us money, giving us the information so that we can make decisions to save us money. I greatly appreciate that. So basically, the conclusion is, the leak survey was done, and it was found that there is no change in pressure as far as decreased pressure or anything like that. It's not needed annually. And so obviously, we're facing a problem where we're having water that's not accounted for in a matter of more than $300,000. So the water loss is not coming from leaks.
No, not necessarily.
It's not coming from leaks. It's more than likely coming from the hydrants and the meters.
It's coming from areas that the leak survey cannot at this time address in regards to that situation. So that's when you start digging deeper into it with your meters, dealing with your service connections, dealing with your actual lines, because you can have things that are leaking into a sewer that you would never even hear or find with a leak survey. These are things that when we say we want to get into a system that is 100 years old, there's so many different ways. You could have a sewer leaking right into it and you would never even know until you actually survey that from underground. And these things usually take time to surface.
Can I ask one real
So I
quick
never answered your question.
Is this loss of water something new?
No.
No.
How many years has this been going on? We've had this deficit.
Water loss is really universal. Everywhere, really. Water loss.
No, I'm asking about Burnham. This is about Burnham, and I've been to village board meetings before. Thank you, I appreciate it. I've been to village board meetings, and I've never heard of this deficit until just recently. So I'm asking, how long has this been going on? Can somebody tell me?
With the water loss, it kind of depends on what's going on. Like the weather's real cold right now, so we could have
A break?
water main break.
Absolutely.
Like I said, right now it could be somewhere leaking and we don't know about it yet, and it may take 2 or 3 days
Right.
to get to the surface.
Right.
By the time we find it, then we've lost quite a bit of water. Just because we got one over here doesn't mean that we don't have one over there.
But what I'm asking is, like, since 1980 or 1990, have we been running a loss every year?
No, I wouldn't say that.
So,
I wasn't here in 1980, so I don't know.
okay, I was.
The
But I'm
costs have
saying-
gone up a lot on the water, maybe that's why you didn't notice it, and also the meters
What was
are
that,
getting
John? I'm
old.
sorry, I
The
didn't
cost
have-
of the water have gone up. Michael mentioned that we used to pay 90 cents
Uh-huh,
per thousand, now we're paying like $4.
uh-huh.
So you didn't notice it so much.
You go ahead.
Well, I did. I actually had a water main, a line from the, what I call the buffalo box. It was in my yard, between the sidewalk and my house. It broke, and it looked like a little artesian well, And I noticed it because my bill went up, plus there was water in my yard. People notice if their toilet's running or this or that, and what I'm saying is this drastic loss something new? Because then it would explain all these people that have estimated readings. The problem is, we're not reading
the water law doesn't have anything to do with the estimated reading. The
It does if they're using far more than whatever an estimated monthly cost is.
No, the estimated reading is the fact that we just didn't physically get to the house and get the reading.
But I'm hearing, Mayor, I'm hearing
We are gonna do-
stories of months and months and months of people.
We're
not
gonna
paying.
take care of that, we're gonna take care of that. Okay, very, very soon. This is one last.
I just wanted to say one last thing, and I think this will leave you with a sense of comfort. Most individuals are scared of new meters because they think, oh wow, my bill's gonna go up. But like Mr. Gilio said, the accuracy helps. It's a double-edged sword for both in a good way, meaning it helps you and it helps the loss report, meaning that if the accuracy, so just think about the
I have
accuracy.
nothing against new meters.
Okay.
I'm strictly saying, I know, like he said, when they did my Buffalo box and my new water line, they fought with trying to get that hookup from the meter
Correct.
to the house with the new lines.
Correct.
Okay, and then I've had all new lines put in my house. But there are not new lines in the water service.
Okay.
And I think that would be a bigger part of our loss than the actual meters.
But that accuracy on your meter, if your meter is reading right now, it's say for example, if it's, let's say 75%, that means that if every household is not registering accurate at 100%, that means that that's accumulated water loss. So that means that the city can't account for that water, but even though they're charging you for what you're using, it's still not accounted for.
Not accounting the
And then
amount.
once you actually learn the amount of water
I
you're
think
actually.
I think we agree with what you're saying.
Yeah,
I think
it's
most
not-
everybody here's problem is the drastic increase that we got today. That's why most everybody's here today.
I
It's
got
not
a
you.
question.
One last
Trustee-
question, then we have to get on with the meeting.
Okay, the trustee asked, what was the reading, how many gallons of water was lost on your survey? And you told us how you did, yeah.
Oh, okay.
You told us how you did the process and what your credentials were and all the rest of that stuff, but you never actually answered her question on how many actual gallons was lost in the system.
That report that was done last year, I have that report,
Yes.
the last year's report, but I can't give you the exact number of how many gallons was lost.
But you didn't do that.
I didn't do that report, but we are finalizing this year's report, and as we finalize this year's report, I can give you last year's and this year's at the town hall meetings, and we can make sure that we address that as well.
I'm
And
sorry,
that'll be
I
like
don't
in
mean to
July?
be, I don't know if you're sarcastic, but you've got so much stuff on your plate, you don't know how much water Burnham has lost through its leaky system. You've got
As of
no
last-
idea.
Not from last year, no, I don't. I don't know the exact number.
Well,
It would be
no wonder
impossible
we're in trouble.
because you don't know the day the leak started.
It doesn't matter, it's on a yearly basis.
He didn't do the report, but he does have the report in the file.
He's
should
got
have
one.
access to the old
At
report.
this time, we're gonna get on with the meeting.
Yeah.
You should have access to the old report, and you
Yeah.
should be able to compare the old report
You
with
said
your
a minute
new
ago
report.
that
And
if
when
we
you
give you
came to
guys
this
a
meeting,
year
you should have been prepared, just like the
to,
one who's in
what
charge
did you
of the
mean by
water
that?
up there.
Give you a
should be
year for,
prepared for questions.
that's where you stop talking.
No, I'm saying that we need to do this for at least a year, and we can go back and revisit this.
Do what, the rate increase for at least a year?
Yes, we'll take a look at it, for sure. You got our word on it. We need to go back and revisit it right after a year. And I know it's gonna be a sacrifice, it's gonna be a sacrifice on everybody's part.
But you don't know when it's gonna start yet.
Your election is coming.
Well, I mean, we're gonna submit the plan probably in a week or two to the Illinois EPA, if they didn't submit it already. It'll probably take maybe,
We have access to the plan that you're gonna submit?
I mean, if I had to say, I'd probably say March or April, if I had to guess.
So the increase won't be before March then?
No, right.
Thank you.
Am I
Okay,
correct in that your meeting
last
tonight?
question, last
Am I
question.
correct that your meeting tonight is going to be taking a vote on how much the sewer increase is?
Yeah.
Can I say
Okay.
something? And also right now, when a lot of people are getting estimated readings, it's because they're not letting, when they actually do go around. I know for a fact, many on my block do not let that guy go in to read the meter. Because I know some people.
because they normally don't have badges on when they do come to visit.
Yeah, you
Don't
don't
go
know.
in a stranger into their house.
Okay. That's gonna be the
I don't know who they are.
Somebody answer that. There's a lot of questions they could answer.
We're gonna have some of the
I didn't get my
Everybody's question.
I'll be at the. I don't want to.
To let that person go in to read the meter also when they do go around.
We're gonna have some of the volunteer firefighters be helping us out with that.
Uniform?
I want to say one thing. This is what I want to say is this, okay? Now you all, when you said money, we sacrificing. You all are not sacrificing. You all work maybe like 16 hours a month, and y'all get from 1,600 to 2,000 a month. We only get maybe like.
And then where's that at? What town is that?
$5,000 expense account too. He's got $5,000.
I don't know your exact pay, but I'm pretty sure you get at least 1,600 a month to 2,000 a month. So we're only working 16 hours
I make about
in the whole month.
$7,000 hours.
You ought to
Right.
me. Hey,
$7,000
I'm quit there, man. So I'm just saying, with y'all extra $2,000, you can pay your water bill.
I work every single day.
I said, the biggest us only get from 1,000 to 1,500 a month on fixed income.
What, driving around?
That's all we
Every
get.
single day.
We work 20 hours a year.
I've been riding around for 16 years, and I have not used a teaspoon of the village gas since I've been here.
Who gave you?
No time.
Since
No time.
that,
No, you gotta be.
why are people using cars and parking cars and police cars in front of their houses, using cars for their personal use? The code instructor, the code dude's got a car parked in front
Can
of
we
his
get back
house.
to the
There's a
issue
guy
at
named,
hand? I mean,
Green
we
Bay,
get all over the place.
it's got a car parked in front of his Yeah, right.
At this time, we will give a report from the clerk, Lewis.
Good evening.
We'll get that next meeting.
I just want to make a comment. Trustee Bonner, I didn't appreciate you insinuating that Stephanie was.
Could you speak up so we can hear, please? Are the microphones on there? We can't hear a word she said.
Okay, matter of record, ma'am, I am the only person on this board that addressed the gentleman's concern when he said that he was, when he asked a question to the clerk's office.
Excuse me,
that a
Denise, if I
lady-
may, she was
That a
rude.
lady named
She was rude.
Stephanie, that a lady named Stephanie was rude to him, and when he asked the question, they gave him a form for a FOIA request. So I did not insinuate that Stephanie was rude, out of record, ma'am. I answered the gentleman's question and said that we will not have rudeness in our office, that everyone will be professional and polite.
You weren't there, so I'm just addressing.
Luce, I would like to say I called today and I talked to Stephanie. And I asked what time this area was open. I said, I understand the board meeting was at 7. What time is this area open? I thought we would be overflowing out the doors. I'm really sorry that we've only got this few people here. She said 7 o'clock. And I said, no, what time is the actual meeting room open? I said 7. That's the kind of response your constituents are getting. And I'm not trying to get the young lady in trouble, but maybe she needs a little lesson in politeness to the public.
Did you report her? Did you?
I did not. I was
Who you
just trying to
report
find
to?
out what happened. I was just trying to find out
That
what.
ain't the first time. She doesn't appreciate me responding to the gentleman.
Show the meeting.
Thank you, thank you.
Town clerk here full-time?
And you can use my name. I asked her. I asked her.
Okay.
Thank
Go
you.
ahead.
We'll find that out.
No, we done.
Ms. Bonner, does that politeness also go to your police officers?
The water rate and sewer rate increases, yes, the old rate is at 4 1/4 per thousand. The new rate is it's going to be at $11 per thousand.
The sewer as well?
No?
This is the water.
Those are water.
This is the water.
Okay.
The increase is $6.75, which is 159%. The difference is $6.75.
But the total over rate is
No,
259.
you cannot take the whole because it's from 4 1/4 to 11.
No,
It's
4
$6
1/4 to 675 is 159% of 4 1/4. The actual increase.
Well, just remember it's
That
gonna
is not
cost.
the whole number. The whole number is 4 1/4 and 675.
Well, we're not gonna argue the point, it's 625 more, so that's the bottom line.
And the bills will be on a monthly basis.
I don't know where you people went to friggin' school.
Yeah, your math
From
isn't
4 to
mathing
12 is 300%, so it's not quite 300.
Unfortunately, with the senior rate, there will be no senior rate on the water and sewer.
Wait.
But it's still gonna be.
No senior rate on the water.
Could you talk louder?
She's trying
The
to.
mic's not on.
No, she's not, because we can't hear back.
People are talking.
Put the mic on.
But he been, folks talking.
Be quiet, then they can
You
hear.
guys,
Turn the mic off.
exactly, but we can't hear it.
Y'all turn the mic off. I didn't hear.
No, I asked previously if she could speak up, turn on the mic, since we
Senior
are not
rate for
able to
garbage
hear.
will continue. Keep in mind, we do not get the discount from homeward disposal, so all the seniors will continue to get their senior discount on the garbage, which is $13.67 a month.
And we have to pay the difference.
Oh,
The new water
terrible.
rates Were passed, the new water rates were passed on November 14th. The
Without our
new sewer
knowledge.
rate was passed on November 14th, and it was posted on November 14th's agenda. Today, the sewer rate is being addressed again, but the water rate was passed again in November 14th. Now, the increase for the water rates are for the following reasons. One, for the approval of the EPA for the water replacement loan, improve infrastructure for water and sewer, assist on the shortage in the water fund, cover costs in the water fund. So we, besides paying for the water that we are consuming, we also have other costs that are involved in this, whether it be maintenance, outside contractors, like climate and plumbing, utilities that we have to pay for the buildings and the salaries. The new rates are being addressed now, so when we need to implement them, then they're in place. So they're not going to, the new rates are not going to go in place until we get the new water meter. This new water rate had to be implemented again, so once we have it.
Say that one more time, please, Luz.
I'm
These
sorry.
rates are not going into effect until
Until
the
we
new
get all the
water
water.
meters are installed?
Correct.
And when is that?
That's not what we were
No,
told.
not necessarily all of these.
When would it be there?
Why is it that you guys,
Can't
it's
make
almost
mine.
like you don't have a collective
I mean, if everybody talking at one time, if everybody
Well,
was kinda
she said
listening
that it's not gonna go into place till the water meters go. You're saying that that's not necessarily true.
I'm saying that the entire project is probably not gonna be done until May of 2019.
Okay.
And I'm saying that, we will probably start
Charging incident.
probably in March or April. That's what I'm saying.
Soon as
March
possible.
or April, charging the higher water rates of 2018.
Right, because as long as we get the accurate reading, it's gonna be the same, you know what I'm saying? We just need an accurate reading, and that's what we're gonna make sure we get.
Exactly.
Okay, we're gonna make sure we get the accurate reading.
Are we gonna pay for the water we're using, or are we gonna do this estimate stuff?
I mean, the water you use is accurate, that's why we're gonna get the reading. Okay, we're gonna make
Okay,
sure.
because I don't use 100 gallons a
And we
day.
need to pick it up, I agree to that, like our system.
Yes.
We have not always done the best job as far as getting the reading, I agree with you.
Who's accountable for that?
Huh?
Who's accountable for
Well,
that?
let's put it like this, I mean, if we didn't get a reading from you since 2015 or 16 or whatever, then we get a reading now, it could benefit you, or it could benefit the village.
Don't matter, you didn't do your job. It doesn't matter, you didn't do your job.
Yes, you do.
All
But
this
I've
is
already
coming
admitted-
because they didn't read the meters.
But I'm saying, I've already admitted, I mean, that our system is not the best system.
Somebody get fired?
It needs reform.
Does somebody get fired?
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Who?
Jerry Hunter.
the guy who sent out the letter, how convenient.
Actually, most of that letter was true.
Most of that letter was
You
true.
can't deny that letter.
We are gonna put out notices when we have other meetings, in that particular area, we're gonna do that.
Was he, John, was he fired because he wasn't reading meters?
That wasn't his
Except for
responsibility.
sewer rate increase, everything else on there was basically true.
When you do have
I don't know, they.
Harry Truman.
No, I'm
Stop
saying,
it there.
He's a
I didn't even
liar.
hear until now.
Okay, at this time, we're gonna do a report from Public Education, Health, Safety, and Welfare, trustee Griff.
Yes, that's right. got
Well, I should have a name on whoever put it out.
I put it out. You wanna know? I'll
Your
put it
name on it?
out. I will put my name on it. I put that letter out. I wrote it. It was all based on information I got off of various sources. And if
Some of
there's
it
anything,
incorrect.
if there's anything
Incorrect.
incorrect on it,
Well, first of all, the doors here are not locked, and I guess you put on there, if you didn't get here at 7 o'clock, you couldn't get into the building.
no,
That is
no,
not true.
no. Oh yeah, I did. No, I said,
What are you talking about? What she just gave him?
yes. He's
How
saying
does
that's
he-
not true.
How does he know? How does he know what you just gave him?
Because one of his little
It
schools
doesn't
gave
matter. We were told we could not speak if we weren't here on time.
What I'm saying, people are misleading you. They doing it on purpose.
Okay, I'll grant you that, Mayor, I'll grant you that, but right here, you've got two different people saying two totally different things. And you're on the same board.
I mean, not exactly. I mean,
Yes, Luz was saying one thing and you're saying, no, it's gonna actually take place in March. She's saying not till the meters come in, you're saying in March.
not to
Yeah, me too.
come in, she needs to be the start. I mean, we finished one part of town.
I mean, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, I'm just saying, I'm watching 6 people say totally different things.
No, these guys aren't saying anything.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
And one other thing, the only reason I typed up that letter was because nobody anywhere in here knew anything about this. Maybe Joyce, because
We
she's
did
still
because
coming
we
to the
came to
meetings.
the last meeting.
But the only reason I knew was a disgruntled employer, Jerry Hunter, talked to John Hyduk, who then talked to me. Okay?
We're gonna put notice out, that's what we're gonna do.
Thank you.
Doesn't help after the fact.
Why
Go
are
ahead,
we a
Trustee.
$500,000 in the hole? No one's answered that.
Go ahead, Trustee.
Yeah, exactly, because nobody's reading any meters.
Well, you said earlier
trucking
that there
firm
were
is
some
filling up
people who
the-
never paid their water meter.
Again, good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Reminder that if you know of anyone that's disabled and using an oxygen tank or a concentrator in their home, please advise them to fill out a residential emergency medical form for the fire department. That way, if there ever is an emergency, they will be well informed as to how to get to your Christian service. CETA was once again in our community, and they serviced over 30 families that needed the service, the IP service. So that was a good thing. I just want to remind you, I don't know if you heard, there was a shooting in Dalton today. One person died. One person was injured. There was no further information given. But this is the time of year that we all need to be safe and just be aware that when you're getting out of your car, you look around and because get it loud, look around and try to get your gas earlier today and don't wait till night. Because although it's not really mattering day or night, I do feel more safer in the daytime than getting gas at night. So just be careful. And I just want to know. Our concerns, your concerns, our concerns. The only way that we know, for instance, you stated about the call today when you called. If you had not said anything when these things happen, we never know. Our concern is your concern. And my door is open to you. My community committee members are also here to advise you. If you come to us with a concern, if we don't have the answer, we will find the answer for you. That's what we're here for. Your concern is our concern. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Trustee Griffin, your report, that information, Public Works and Building, Trustee Claybrook.
Good evening.
Good evening.
First of all, I just want to thank everyone for coming out, and it's a good thing, you know, to always have the community involvement, community concern. I understand all the concerns everyone is having because I feel it too, you know, because it is a drastic increase. But again, I just want to say thanks everyone for coming out and showing your concern. With the Public Works report, this week they were out doing general cleaning, and I believe it snowed on the 24th, Christmas Eve. They had the snow plows out, And to Ms. Obama, I have to, we have 100 tons of salt on hand, and we should be getting out late tonight or tomorrow morning once the snow slows down, if it's not snowing already. Yes, sir.
This early evening, I looked out my front window at a Burnham City salt truck plowing Burnham Avenue. Why on earth are you using the resources of Burnham to?
That's for the state, right?
Got
But
it.
I didn't know that.
Well, you need to tell the guy who is
Are you
doing
sure
it,
he was
because
fine
it
with
happens
that?
on a yearly basis. Every once
He
in a
lives
while.
right on Burnham
I live on
Avenue.
Burnham
Oh,
Avenue.
okay. It was the plow was out.
The dump truck spreading salt and plowing the street. And I know because I have to clean the front of my driveway off.
Right.
But there's no sense in the guy salting Burnham Avenue. It's white, like snow.
We can do it, and we can log the miles and get reimbursed by the state.
Yeah, I would think we want that
And
salted.
also,
We have done that in the past, but I'm not saying we did it today.
Well, I personally would like the bridge salted, because,
And also,
you know, if they're doing it.
also, sometimes it takes the state a long time to come out, and depending on how bad it is, if we got cars that slipping and sliding and having accidents here in the village of Burnham, then we probably wouldn't go ahead and do it. You know, the matter of public safety.
Well, this is not my committee.
Right.
It's actually Trustee Bonner's committee, but I would like to introduce Michael Payne. Stand up.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I'm Mr. Payne. I'm from Chicago, so I'm not a resident of Burnham, but I have been listening. It sounds interesting, so yeah. But I have something I want to offer you guys because.
Go ahead.
Clarification, my committee is Parks and Recreation, so.
You are perfect. I like you. You got the attitude I'm looking for. You know, she would be a great teacher. I'm a instructor for Songs Midwest Songful Association. It's on my back. That's what I do. I know Mr. Claybrooks. He got a haircut at the same place. And he heard me talking about this program, and I've been listening to everybody in this room, and everybody needs this program. You know, I'm gonna say that it's like it's a healthy wellness program. It was a program designed for behavior kids who had issues in school, you know, and my seafoods were over what you call it, dysfunctional residency or whatever. And we designed this program where we would teach the students the curriculum. We would also teach the staff. We would teach the parents. We would teach the members of the board or whatever. And after you get into the program, we would take the program and make it to where you can maintain the program afterwards. So it would be like an aftercare would come in, or one of our seafoods come in and assist you in instructing. So that program was designed for that particular situation, but we also designed programs specifically for whatever situation it is. And I only made that joke because she has a fiery personality, right? She's very stern, she demands attention. And when you listen to her talk, you know, she can stop things, right? Whereas I see everybody in the back of this, y'all talk over each other, making comments, threatening people and stuff like that, and making assumptions. Well, that's my what I saw, right? I don't know anybody in here, everybody got concerns. I'm from Chicago, we turn the water on this death. That's how we think. That's the mentality of the Chicago person. So knowing that y'all paying for water and we wasting water, I do sympathize with that, right? So I don't have anything to say about that. But as far as this program, we teach etiquette. We walk into a room, we salute the flag. Whoever the flag is, the flag in it, you would be
It's over there.
Okay, so when we come in the room, you face the flags, you address the flag, whatever nationality you are, it don't matter. You address the flag, you address the highest person in the room with respect, right? That's what we do. And then we go down from there. So the program is not just like, we don't just teach kicking and punching. We teach anatomy, physiology, we teach pressure points, all that kind of stuff. But more or less, like, we teach senior citizens, like, if you walk in with a can, we got cane techniques where you teach you how to fall, you know, slipping and fall. We teach you all kinds of stuff. And you can take this stuff with you and you can use it later. So if your child goes through the system and decides, okay, this program that we've been introduced to this park district or whatever, they may take that and say, well, I want to know more, because this was a curved curriculum. So they want to learn more, they come to my school, and we teach you the full curriculum. If you a staff member, you go through it for a year, you are involved, you are a part of our association. We will come, you get what we get, and you got the authority to continue that program. So it's not just something that I'm just come and get some money and leave your kids hanging.
Tell me about the college readiness that you have for the program.
So, what we currently I'm working with a CPS principal, Miss King. She was a former client of mine. She's a personal trainer for LA Fitness for 3 years. And when I brought this program up, she was the first person I thought about because it's a school and she got a problem with what she just talked about the dog. She used to stay in Harlem. So I know when at that time it was like 96 to 98, it changed. I forget the man name. He did something, and like the area been bad ever since. But as far as crime is everywhere. There's no one particular area that's better than no area. You know, body awareness, being aware of what's going around you and stuff like that. So when I put the program together, for students or whatever going outside from high school to college, they have certain skills that they need. And for the program, it's just okay, we punching and kicking, and we're not just punching and kicking because you have to, for say, timing, right? You have to be on time. You have to, your grades got to be correct. Knowing how to fill out the application, knowing how to fill out the FAFSA, knowing how to fill out your tax form, knowing 1090s, all that stuff, even your credit. Knowing how to fix your credit. What do you do when you get $100? Do you spend it on shoes or do you put it in the bank? Or do you, how do you set up your payment and stuff? So all that stuff is the part of the readiness program that my principal explained to me because what they have in Chicago, I don't know y'all hear about it, they took all the gyms away, which means that they don't fund the gym teachers no more. So they have what is called motion time. So some schools still have gyms, some schools still have gym teachers, most schools don't. So they have motion time. So the teacher has to be the gym teacher, the social work, and everything. So instead of them being everything, I'm trying to come in to facilitate that because they have maybe an hour or two, and then that's it. So with this program, which it worked 2007, 9, whatever, upgrading it to what I'm doing now to fit what's going on. Like she said, it was shooting and don't know why he talks. Nobody's going to tell them themselves to go to jail. I don't know anybody that does that, right? And that's just, I don't know if that's nature, but, it's like I can get away with this, I'm going to keep getting away with it, right? Yeah. I have, yes, sir.
Now, I just wanted to know, so is there a name for the program and is the general cost for the program? It does a lot of things, as you say, I guess, they had it, but is there a name for it? Is there a cost for it?
The name of the program is, this particular program was specific for that facility, which was a behavioral school,
What's the
halfway
name?
house. It was a halfway house. And what we did was, instead of, what we did was to design a curriculum for the kids in that program to learn Kung Fu and to use the Kung Fu to help them with their behavior. So it was the actual, it's RTC, which is, it's called the actual center.
Sir, you sound very informed.
Yes.
And it sounds like a great curriculum. So what's your proposal to this board?
Well, I don't know.
Maybe you could, Trustee Burnham, if you could present you with that, and then you all could go over and maybe present it to the Park District, or maybe have something in Burnham at the community center or at the Burnham School or something like that.
I think he's saying
Okay,
like.
do you have something in writing that you can leave for me?
I can. Well, this was. I have to upgrade, put my qualifications in it, but I can email you the information for this. How I can bring the program.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry that I don't have any cards or that our email addresses aren't on the Burnham website, but it's dcbonner@villageofburnham.com. Okay.
It's basically what I was just going to do, which what I've been doing is offering, because they have been all this violence, and it's like a curb the violence type of thing, right? You see a police officer, you're a youth, and the mentality of the psychological is, okay, he's going to take me down, he's going to kill me because the world and the news is saying black against white, right? Let's just be honest.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you so much, sir.
Sorry about that. Yeah. I'll give all the details, and I'll leave some with Mr. Travis, and I also have him assist us so y'all can get the information. And if I have to come back, I will. And I'll leave my information as well, and how y'all can contact me. My school is located on 4800 North Milwaukee. They may be a little too far, so I'm just outsourcing right now. All right.
And the ordinance resolution, planning as trustee Capper, you take number one, trustee.
Discussion of consideration of and taking action on ordinance number 2017-0-012 sewer tax. Adjusted in ordinance adjusting the village's sewer rate in order to facilitate a loan with the Illinois.
Okay, thank you.
And then we're gonna charge a $10 a month fee for the sewer maintenance, and that'll take care of the lines, like the maintenance of the sewer lines, in the cleanings, the drain cleaning. And so
that's in addition to what you just took away.
Yes. So I'm taking out the 11,000
11.
and
Is
charging
that
you
for
only
the
$1, but we're gonna charge $10 a month sewer tax.
Is that just for the streets?
It's still at $11.
It's 11 just for that 1,000 gallons, but then every.
Yeah, it's still
So
lower.
that's $120 a year, right?
For sewers.
For sewers?
Yes.
Sewer tax, $120 a year.
Is that for in the street? Is that for in the street?
Yeah.
It's for the maintenance of
Go
the
to your
sewer
house
lines.
too?
So according to this,
But then they ain't here, man, ain't nobody answer.
according to this ordinance, it's gonna be a monthly $10 surcharge, monthly, and then,
A dollar per
$1
thousand.
per every 1,000, based on the meter reading,
Yes.
per month, with a minimum usage of 3,000 gallons. And if there is no meter reading, then it's gonna be a minimum of 9,000 gallons. It's gonna be read at 9,000 gallons for that month.
No, not for the month.
No, then if you pay more than you should, and once we get to actual reading, it'll be readjusted.
It says 9,000 gallons per billing period. And from my understanding, the billing period is gonna be monthly, correct?
Well, it used to be quarterly.
We're talking about the new ordinance.
Is it gonna be monthly or is it gonna be quarterly?
It's gonna be monthly once we get.
Okay, so it'd be $9,000 if it's not a reading per billing period. And the billing period is
That-
gonna be monthly.
So that means you pay $9,
That's if it's not read.
right,
So
$9 up front plus another 10, so you'll be out $19 right away every month, if you don't have a meter reading. Right.
Yes. Oh, and also, let me say this. This meeting, it was kind of unstructured. Normally how it goes is in the beginning, you have the open session. And then the public speaks and then the board responds. And it usually doesn't go like this with back and forth dialogue. So this is an exception. So just for future references.
I thought this
Every
was
time we
ideal.
have a continuous meeting like this, people have a lot of questions, so, you know, we're trying to move the meeting along, but everybody
All right,
got genuine interest and genuine concern.
I'll take the one question.
Yeah, and the gentleman here had a question. He says he wanted to know whether the sewer tax covers just what's the lines in the street, or does that cover what comes to the house, the sewer line to the house? What's the sewer tax cover?
Just the street.
Just the street. So something comes around the house, you have no problem. It's on us, yeah. it's on us.
That's what I'm
Hey,
trying to.
John, thank you. As long as you're talking about this, I just thought about too, that's part of the ordinance. Every even year after 2018, there's gonna be a 4% increase every single year up and through 2040.
For the sewer tax, that was taken away.
I thought that was for the water increase.
That is gonna be for the water increase, yes, sir.
That's just for the,
Yes.
can I ask what
Back
they,
and revisit that, once we go back and revisit that after the year, then we'll take a look at that and see that, so we may have to do another calculation.
So Denise, can you re-say what you're saying again? It's $1,000 or $1 per 1,000 gallons, but if we don't get a reading, then it's gonna be assumed 9,000 per month rather than 9,000 per quarter?
No,
The
everything's
verbiage,
in one.
the verbiage states,
I mean, maybe the verbiage needs to be reworded, I
the
guess is
verbiage
what I'm
states
saying.
that, the monthly bill that is 3 times the minimum bill of 3,000 gallons, i.e. 9,000 gallons per billing period.
Okay.
Until there is an accurate meter reading.
Okay. So if we
So yes,
don't get a meter reading, Mayor, I'm just saying, if this problem continues, can we, as private citizens, take it upon ourselves to call in a reading?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Well, you can take a picture and send it to Lee.
Take a picture and send it? Okay.
I'm sorry for being rude, but isn't it inherent on the government to get the readings done, period. It should not be against, on the citizens to get this done, nor should we be penalized because of
We're not penalized.
faulty government stuff.
We're not penalized.
You haven't been doing it before, what's the guarantee you're gonna do it now?
I said we're not penalizing.
You just said 9,000,
That was just an example in parentheses that says 9,000 gallons.
We just
is
wanna know what our
9,000
bills are gonna be.
I think somebody spoke earlier about sometimes, I believe trustee Garcia said sometimes people don't let us in for whatever reason, they won't let you in.
Because they're not, I told you, they don't have a badge on, and they don't have a vest that says bright yellow, green, purple, Village of Burnham, nothing.
That
How are we
don't-
supposed
that
to
don't
know
mean
who
nothing.
we're letting into the
Black, yellow,
house?
green.
You know, it's been the
Let
same
me
guy.
so I can kill you.
Yeah, now
Yeah.
you say that there are firemen, do you know every
Right.
volunteer
No,
fireman?
but it's been the same guy for
Yeah.
10
I
years,
don't-
12 years.
You know him, we don't.
What
Well,
I'm
it's
trying to
been,
say, if
it's
he's
not
saying
like
you
we're
can't do
sending
that on
multiple
meter
guys,
time.
it's been one and only one guy.
So how can one guy cover the whole town in 1 month?
They should
So
go
why
ahead
is-
and simply say, on the 15th of the month, Old Burnham will have
Right,
their water
Can't,
meter.
he's saying you can't. And
So
take a
then the other
picture
thing
of
about
it.
the ordinance is there's gonna
Oh,
be
you
a
gotta take a
$10
picture.
fee per month.
Too
It's
bad.
gonna be $10
I
per
call it
meter.
over there.
It's not gonna be like, you have one meter with two people living there, it's not gonna be $20.
I don't know, but I don't wanna get billed
$10
for
per
9,000
structure,
gallons, I'll tell you
or per
that.
meter.
It's just me, I don't use 9,000
So, I
gallons.
mean, if your house has 2 meters, then it's gonna be $10 for each meter. Will be the sewer tax, the flat sewer tax.
Hit me with logic.
I don't know who brought that out there to take a picture.
So are the volunteer firemen getting paid also, since they're volunteer firemen, to read our meters?
Well, now, you know, volunteer, does not necessarily mean volunteer. It means like,
Oh, the mayor said that? Thank you.
it's 11, 13.
Said
They get 13 an hour to read the meters.
No.
A call.
No, call.
A call to read the meters.
So in essence, it would probably be about
Okay, so what are we paying the person who's supposed to be doing this full time? Wouldn't it be cheaper to get some people that need jobs, that are willing to work, to go and read these meters?
Well, the problem with that is that we have a union, and sometimes that has to be negotiated with the union. And if we get somebody that's already employed by the village, it's much easier and less complex.
No, I understand, but if you have somebody who has not been reading all of these meters, and you're telling us that we have a loss of over $500,000.
I mean, we're gonna get the meters read, so we just need cooperation from the community, and they will be visible, and you will see them very soon. See you, Councilman. Thank you.
So I'd like to make a motion that we pass ordinance number 2017-0-012, the sewer tax adjusted ordinance, subject to the changes that were mentioned, the $10 per meter. And verbiage on that 9,000 gallons, which I don't know what that example is. It was just an example,
That's if there's no meter reading, that it's gonna be charged 3 times the minimum, which would be 9,000.
And that is to encourage the people to make sure that we get reading and cooperate with us so we don't overcharge. I mean, but if we do overcharge it, then you'll be credited for it.
If I read that right, according to your ordinance, it stipulated that it could be a cop or any village official can come into the building, it's the way it's written. Anytime, anywhere they want to get the reading.
Fourth Amendment, that's the Fourth Amendment.
That does not look like that verbiage is in this ordinance, but the water ordinance was not changed, so that verbiage is still in the water ordinance.
So they can't for your sewer.
Yes, I mentioned in the last meeting that a village official, the police department, water department, can come read your meter or access your premise at any day, any time to read the meter.
Right.
And if that's not allowed, then you could be subjected to a water disconnection with a $250 turn-on fee.
But the reason for that was, and I think that we had mentioned that, if not, we will make sure that language gets changed in that.
No, I didn't think, I know you guys didn't mean to write it that way. but
Where
that's the way
have
it's
you
written.
been?
Right,
Where have you
it
been?
didn't mention the fact in case of an emergency we had.
That's different, that wasn't my
Unless
part.
the emergency was marked out.
And the reason for that again is to make sure that the people cooperate with us.
No, I understand.
Again, sometimes people don't cooperate. they don't cooperate. And that was put in there to strengthen that possibility.
You let it go.
But don't you think our poor police, we're understaffed as it is, have enough to do between domestics, traffic, routine, paperwork, things that need to be done in our town to ensure our safety and security should not be used to be reading water meters?
No, we never said that we read the water.
It was
Did
never,
you read the
in case
ordinance?
there was a water leak or an emergency, we needed to have access.
They're
So
not reading.
that gives us the right for our water engineer to enter the premise in case there's an emergency.
So to answer your question, no, that verbiage as far as,
Constitution just
there are
died.
no stipulated times or dates that the meter's gonna be read in this ordinance.
I'm sorry, trustee Cap.
So I make the motion.
Second motion by trustee Cap, and second by trustee Richardson.
Post your properties, and you can
Trustee
shoot it.
Cap?
Yes.
Trustee Bonner?
Okay, I didn't vote on the original ordinance, but I'm gonna vote no on this one, only because it says tax rate effective January 1st, and we're not very clear on when the meter's gonna be installed, how they're gonna be read, with the digital reading. So I'm gonna, and also, it's like 1,000% increase for this, for the surcharge, because we didn't have a surcharge prior. So $10, from $0 to $10, so I'm gonna vote no on this.
Trustee Garcia? Trustee Greer?
Yes.
Trustee Richardson?
Yes.
Trustee Claybrook?
Yes.
Yes, thank you, motion paid. Let me also say that, the ordinance, you know, we have a book probably 6 inches thick, and those got the village ordinances in that book. Now, I mean, it is left up to us and the officials of the town as to how we enforce those ordinances. And just because it's in the ordinance, right, it does not mean we necessarily have to enforce it. And so,
But if it's written there, you can.
right, that's what I'm saying. So,
But if
we are
it's
not
written,
trying
you
to,
should.
we are not trying to break anybody's back. We're not trying to put any
If-
pressure on you. But if we need it, then it's there.
Why pass regulations if you're not going to enforce them?
I mean, I didn't say that. I mean, I
Yes,
said
you
if
did.
we need it. I said if we need it. If we need it. I mean, for example, it is a petty offense for you to spit on the streets in the village of Burnham. Did you know that?
So?
Okay, so I'm just saying, I mean, so we don't enforce all the ordinances, but it's also against the ordinance for your car to leak oil on the street.
Well, that should be.
I said, against the ordinance for your car to leak oil on the pavement and on the street. That's against the ordinance. So there are many things that's against the ordinance that we don't.
So, yeah. How many of the ordinances are legitimate?
So the most. Discussion of consideration of and taking action.
Louder.
Ordinance number 2017-0009, cannabis and drug paraphernalia, and ordinance amending chapter 62, offenses and miscellaneous provisions. Article 5, offenses against public health, peace, and safety of the Code of Ordinances.
This is a drug paraphernalia, cannabis, and Cook County, there are certain offenses now that the county is really not charging people for, and certain things that's kind of out there, so this will strengthen the rules and regulations in this town and some of the other towns are doing. And the offense is, I mean, if someone is caught with a 30 gram or less of cannabis, it's a $200 fine. If it's more than $30, they'll probably be incarcerated, so they wouldn't get charged. So, I'm sorry to see.
So make a motion to pass ordinance number 2017-0009, cannabis and drug paraphernalia, and ordinance amending chapter 62, offenses and miscellaneous provisions, article 5, offenses against public health, peace, and safety of the Code of Ordinances.
Thank you, trustee Garcia, so you making a motion, so we need a second, please. Well, first of all, for there any questions about this? I can see.
I don't even know what she said.
You make a motion?
Yes.
We need a second.
I'll second it.
Do you smoke?
Second by trustee
No.
Cap.
Okay, you don't worry about it.
Trustee Cap?
Yes.
Trustee Bonner?
Yes.
Trustee Garcia?
Yes.
Trustee Greer? Trustee Richardson?
Yes.
Trustee Claybrook?
Yes.
And you look at that little pot.
Yeah, one last thing is that, just to let everyone know that there's a new business on 145th and Torrance. It's called Autorama Sales and Service. We used to have Burnham Auto Sales there now, but this is a new business that has gone into that building. 14532 Torrance Avenue.
And it'll be another mechanic shop, and as well as a car dealer shop will be at that location, so,
It is all cleaned up, I noticed that.
I'll make sure of that.
What's the name of it?
It's called Autorama Sales and Services.
14532 Torrance. Okay, is that all you have, trustee?
Yes.
Your finance trustee, Cap.
I have nothing else to add, but if anybody wants to talk to me after the meeting, I'm glad to answer all your questions.
And thank you, trustee Cap.
Like I said before, I've spent many, many hours fighting these issues for you. It's just.
Thank you, Garcia. Trustee Garcia. I know sometimes, as elected officials and leaders, or sometimes we have to make decisions that are not comfortable. Understand that, so you can beat the mayor up. That's okay. You know, but we just really, we don't want to kick the can down the road in a program that we already have. It's really, really, really. And we are going to, come up with some incentives for the summer with the village stickers. We're kind of pondering that right now, and for the seniors and the other people. So we are going to work with you to try to make this as palatable as possible. So we are on your side, but we just need your help in this.
I don't know if we ever got our questions answered though, Mayor. You said you were gonna address the questions. You took care of mine, mostly, but I still didn't hear what we pay the village of Chicago, Hammond for our water versus what we were paying and why we need this huge increase.
Well, if I had to speculate without looking at the records, I would say in the neighborhood of $4.
And yet you need to charge 11.
Well, because our fund is underfunded, and the EPA is not gonna give us the loan unless they feel we can pay it back. And with us having a fund, the account.
Can't we just put this on hold though and research whether we can get a grant?
Thank you.
Well, no, you
And
cannot
or-
get.
I mentioned that too.
I know you
No,
did.
you can't. I mean, for a department that is self-generating revenue, there are no grants for that. Now, if it was the police department, if it was some other department, if it was the fire department,
It's a Democratic.
I mean, that could possibly qualify. I mean, but the water department produces revenue. Right, you cannot get a grant for that. And right now.
Okay, all right,
now,
if they're charging us $4 a thousand gallons, what if we were paying $6 or $7 or even $8 a gallon?
And that's what we're gonna come back and revisit after.
But no tax ever established is rescinded.
The pot tax. And if we stick together, we can get this handled.
The deal would be that
go ahead.
my silly idea would be, if you read all the meters and charge all the people that have not actually used the water on all the meters that are in existence and see how much money you could generate, maybe this wouldn't be necessary. But you haven't been reading the meters for years.
Right.
Thank you.
Well, again, like I said.
But again, you don't know what you could generate if the meters were read. So you're just
Or
shooting into
accurate
the
meters.
dark.
They gotta be accurate meters too, because we have old meters.
Close counts. You don't even know, we can't do
Experts
that
say we're
because the
losing
meters aren't
20%.
accurate.
We're
But
losing
what if
20% in our meters. That's what the experts say.
I mean, we'll do whatever we can when the time comes.
Whoever the water experts that we get meetings with, are old meeting, as a meter gets old, it starts to lose its count. The parts wear out, so water's getting acid, so you're getting clear
Have
water.
all of the meters in town been read, and have all of the people in town paid what is on the meters?
No.
No. So if you answer no to that, then all of the rest of the stuff is just garbage. You're making this stuff up.
We've made some changes over the years where we don't, if you're estimated, you don't pay just the 10,000 gallons anymore. We've been charging 15,000 gallons if you're not red. So we've kind of been looking at some of these issues. It's not like something that just came up. So we have been charging people more than the minimum 10 if the meter wasn't red.
Again, back to the primary issue. If the meters haven't been read and the people haven't paid the bills on the water that they've used, and you haven't collected that money, then all of this stuff has no reference. There's no reference point for it because you don't know what you would be bringing in if,
Well, getting back to
or what you would lose
The only
if.
other item we have is we know what Chicago's going to increase the rates to, so we do have that.
But John, how did it get to over $500,000 before this was noticed? You've been in charge of finance how long?
Well, we've been,
Why
we're
wasn't
only
this
collecting
brought-
about 60% of what we're
Okay.
buying.
the ordinance.
So is are you leaking 60%? You're not collecting it.
Let me say this. I mean, we try to work with our residents. Excuse me. I mean, we try to work with the residents, and sometimes I will admit we are more lenient than we should be. I mean, the ordinance says, that if your bill is not paid in full, I mean, within 30 days, we can turn the water off.
And you should be doing it to some of these people.
Right,
Period.
right, we should.
But now we have different
Shoulda,
people
woulda,
with
coulda.
different circumstances, and we are sympathetic to the people. So we twist their arms and we try to get the money out of them. And sometimes we do have to turn it off. You know, once we turn it off, I mean, then they bring the money in. But sometimes when we go to turn the water off, I mean, the deep boxes are screwed up, and they messed up, and they turn over to the side, so we can't turn them off. And then we have to call Calumet City plumber to come out to make that repair, and then we turn the water off. That's adding more expense to us. In other words, that's part of the
But we're
upgrade.
paying, we're
and-
paying for
and
the
improve.
repair?
Huh?
Are we paying for the repair and not the
No.
resident?
No, the village pays for it. The village pays for that. I mean, it's our fault, it's the village
on our
system
side of
that's
the
not
meter.
upgraded. So we wouldn't charge that to the resident. I mean, that's charged to the village.
It's on the village side of the meter.
So,
Yeah, but that doesn't work either.
Okay, we're gonna go ahead so we can end. We don't wanna-
Here, I got one other quick item.
Okay.
Calumet City has changed their meters to the new meters where they can read them with the radio. Actually. They turn off they bill monthly, they turn off 600 to 800 houses every month because people aren't paying.
now,
And that helped them with their collection.
how are we gonna be getting our monthly water bills when the lady that does the cleaning sits in the senior building, correct, Nancy?
Correct.
Folding our bills to help out the people from the clerk's office. I've seen her with stacks of them there, folding there. I have not only witnessed this, you can ask these other seniors.
You
What's
have
your point?
full-time people, and they're not doing their jobs.
And she says she's getting paid extra money to do that, John. Did you know that?
Well, I know
Yes,
we paid a lot of extra money.
Okay, but this is our cleaning lady with our water bills that are coming, pardon me?
She's just
And
stuffing.
no, she's not just folding them, she's putting them in the envelopes and sealing them to be deposited in the
What's wrong
mail.
with that? I'm just curious, what's wrong with that?
Yeah.
It's
Nothing
not
but
here
what
at the
two
village hall.
full-time employees doing in the office.
But there's a lot of work that needs to be done also, so when does
But we're
it-
not getting our bills, is what I'm saying, in a
And
timely
they
manner.
could be
How are we gonna get them
postcards.
monthly?
They could be printed out postcards
Thank
instead
you.
of letters that are
Right, but
folded
our-
up.
right, but our
and-
system right now is, that's the way.
It used to be postcards.
Yeah.
It was cheaper postage.
Right.
We need
used to
some
always get
reform, so we're gonna
postcards.
get that, and you will see, so let's give us a little bit more time.
When is the system gonna
We're gonna
change
straighten
up
it
then?
Never.
When is the new system gonna come in? She just said that we're using an old system. When's the new system coming in?
That's what we've been talking about, once the water meters get installed.
So you can't have a new system before the water meter?
We haven't even met with vendors yet either.
Yeah, so you're talking 2019.
Just asking.
Serious.
We're gonna pay for it before
A
2019.
lot of things we haven't even touched yet tonight.
We can't even get no.
So the meters and the software have to be compatible.
Okay.
There's three at the core.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I just want to say to the residents, these increases affect the board just like it affects you all. We live in the village, and it's not that, you know, we're trying to impose this extra money on you all, and it's not gonna be imposed on us. But we all have to come together, like everybody came up for this water increase. We have meetings twice a month. we discuss things that affect the village twice a month. If we could have the same kind of input like we had tonight in the last meeting, we could work together. You don't work together.
It's called moral behavior.
If you told the people who are paying the bills, before you passed all this legislation, to come out
Send out
and
notice.
to make our voices heard, perhaps we would not feel like you're just taking money out of our pocket and you don't really care. For me,
We apologize if you feel that.
well,
I think
for me, this $500 increase, okay, this $500 increase, I get $531 a month Social Security. For a year, this is gonna cost me a whole month's income.
Yeah.
But as the mayor said, we're gonna do this for a year and we're gonna revisit it. Yeah, you say you never rescind laws, laws are rescinded often. All I have to say is give us a chance.
All I wanna say on that is in agreement with what PJ was saying was, I have been in the village hall to pay my water bill every time it is due. Not once was it brought up to me when I paid my bill, gee, Patty, you might want, that was another comment Stephanie made to me. Look at the board, it was on the board. I hardly have time to do what I do already. I come in, I pay my bill, I get in and I leave and I go grocery shopping or whatever. In the past, we've always gotten something, a notice.
Yes.
Yes, we do.
Saying, we're thinking about doing this, if you'd like to attend our meetings in advance of passing an ordinance. That has always been the case.
We had town hall meeting last year, we had one at Burnham School, and,
But no, well, we never got a notice about it. We
How's
never got
somebody
a
gonna
notice.
take money out of
Did
their
we get a
pocket
notice?
and maybe they'll
No
come?
notice.
yeah, we did tell the people, we had town hall meeting, I got the dates of them.
You got the date, but we didn't get no notice.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, they was passed.
No, they're not, but you gave it to somebody to pass it out, but they didn't pass it out.
Maybe they threw them in the sewer.
Excuse me, I didn't want to start that all over again. I
No, I'm sorry.
I understand that you guys all live in the village and everybody's paying the same rate. I'm just saying it's creating, if people are already not paying their bills, adding to that bill is not going to make it any better. You're gonna have much more
With
delinquency.
the
Could you,
new
Mr.
policies
Mayor,
that we have in place, they'll pay or they'll not have the service.
can you promise that you will get every meter read and that you will make due diligence to get everybody who's in arrears to pay up before you nail us with this $11 increase?
We'll make every effort possible, yes.
So you're gonna come back, okay. So that will factor into the reduction that you're talking about in the later on.
Yes, and give us about maybe March or somewhere there about, and we'll come back and give an update, we'll give a report.
So that's
And
3
we'll
months.
be here.
We'll be here.
Sounds good to me.
Also,
When's the
we'd
next
like to
meeting?
thank our community businesses for their generous donations to our Christmas baskets for 2017. We had Calumet City Plumbing, Sprout Metal Services, Waterfront Marine, Sandwich House, Nurturing Development Learning Center, A1 Affordable Science, Elizabeth Bolt, AMVET, Ranchell Auto, Armani Food and Deli, and Heights Auto Workers. We were able to assist 27 members of our community with Christmas baskets.
Those are the needy families, those are the needy families that fill out. Final restoration, trustee Burnham.
No report at this time.
Thank you, trustee Burnham. Then, presentation of petitions, and a communication,
Come on to whatever they say.
memorials, Ms. Mumpson, and then unfinished business, and then new business. I'll ask for a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by trustee Claybrook, we need a second.
Second.
When is the next meeting, Mr. Mayor?
Trustee Cap?
Yes.
Trustee Bonner?
Second and the
Yes.
last two.
Trustee Garcia? Trustee Greer? Trustee Richardson?
Yes.
Trustee Claybrook?
Yes.
I gotta remember
Motion
what
passed, meeting of the joint. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, everyone.
Right, this is right.
That-